Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki, and today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at naughtylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable, and please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Good morning, Naughty Crew. Welcome back to my channel, Naughty Love Movement. It shows Naughty bring you the latest and trending topics, and I vlog my life. Hope everybody's having a beautiful start to their day. I know I am, but please, as you load up in the room, please remember to hit that like button. Hit the like button. Help us get into the algorithm. Share this live stream to get the word out that we are live, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I appreciate every last one of you. Please follow us on our different social media platforms. All that information is scrolling below on my little ticker, and I haven't said it in a while, but please subscribe to my backup channel. I'm trying to get monetized over there. All right. Naughty Crew Live podcast. Oh gosh, so much to get into. I have so much to share with you today. We're going to get into the Fugees drama. Prize from the Fugees is suing Lauryn Hill, saying all type of things, like she had breached a contract, she's the reason why their tour was canceled, all type of allegations. But Lauryn Hill has since responded. We also have Eve is speaking on what she had to go through to really like genuinely fall in love with her current husband, and how she had to deal with all her past trauma and baggage. All right. Then we got Wendy Williams, child. We've been waiting for her to speak. She has spoken out on the Diddy situation. So I have her commentary. And then, the diddler. He blew up the internet once again. Oh, child. Let me tell you, I wasn't surprised by what Busby was saying in a press conference yesterday, because that's not the first time the diddler has been under investigation for sleeping with underage boys. So, and I have an article that I want to reference to share with my Naughty Crew. And also, I want to put things in perspective. Walk with the Ancestors was live last night. We're going to get into a little bit of her commentary, and we're gonna wrap up the show with what's really going on here, because at the end of the day, the diddler is just the fall guy, and if they're not gonna cut it off at the head, what are we doing here? Okay. It's those big wigs above him that run the record labels, that run the prisons, that need to come down with him. They need to be right beside him, getting prosecuted. All right. So that's a little bit of the lineup of the show. I'm going to go ahead and drop this intro, allow people to load up in the room. Please thumbs up the video. Thank you. Yes, good morning, grown woman. Thank you so much for joining me. Absolutely. There are more people at the top that are even higher than the diddler, right? That run the record labels, that run the prisons, okay? It's a whole agenda here. It's a whole cycle here that is feeding the beast. And if you're not going to cut off the head, what are we doing here? All right, because we're going to be right back in the same place the next political year. All right, they'll arrest Diddy. He'll go to trial. Hey, Jarrell, good morning. He'll go to trial. Then things will quiet down for a little while. But meantime, kids are being kidnapped. Kids are being violated. Um, People are still being violated and rugged all over the place. It's a whole big agenda here, and people need to understand the full scope of what's going on. Now, when Bugsby came out yesterday with that press conference, I know it was shocking to everyone, right? But I was not shocked, all right? Good morning, Bright Eyes. Shout out to Sean Davy Way because I before I even became a YouTuber, I used to be on his channel and his survivings are everything. And he has a surviving Diddy. Okay. Um, this is not the first time Diddy has been investigated for sleeping with underage boys. I hope you all know. Back in 2018, when Jimmy Henchman, his hitman, was arrested, he was questioned in regards to that. Okay. Also Jimmy Henchman was mentioned in Kim Porter's diary or whatever you want to call it. He was mentioned in there. Remember, Kim Porter overheard a conversation with the Diddler and Jimmy Henchman talking about taking out Tupac, right? That's what I said with the book. I believe a lot of the things are true. And the reason I say that, because a lot of these things have been out here on the internet for years. All right. So anyone can go and do their research and reiterate it in a journal or be like a Jaguar Wright, right? Running around here telling all type of stories. Jaguar Wright is a storyteller. But she is no different from the Diddies in the world. This is her get back for being ousted out of the industry, her telling on everybody. But don't forget, she was a madam too. So she has the propensity to have the same behaviors as the diddlers and all these people running the X trafficking ring. What makes her any different from a Diddy? What makes Jaguar Wright any different from an Epstein? She just running her mouth. So I take you to an article that I found. It was published October 19th of 2013. And I found it on Oh No They Didn't. That's literally the name of the article. Hey MBMB. Right. Will we ever get the names? Same thing with the Jeffrey Epstein list. They were saying so he had so many people in his Rolodex in the black book, and we never got the names. And people were allowed to reach out to the judge and get their names redacted, and things like that. Why are things so protected? Why won't that judge allow cameras in the court? Let's see Diddy. Is Diddy really in custody or is he in protective custody? I'm just saying. I just really feel like the predators are still being protected here. Thumbs up the video. So let's get into this article. Feds investigate Diddy for allegedly having sex with underage boys. Okay, this is back in 2019. Okay, I ain't putting on. And shout out to Sean Davy Way. I always cite where I get my sources from, and he kind of gave me the lead to this. But I already heard about this because I used to be on his survivings. Okay, he has some great survivings. Say what you want about him. So, federal investigators interrogating former hip hop manager Jimmy the Henchman Roseman wanted to know about the actual pre. Mm, pre prelications, of numerous rap heavyweights, including Sean Diddy Combs, who has 5 children with 3 women. A secret affidavit revealed the feds were very interested in knowing whether Combs has sex with underage boys. So during a debriefing session with federal investigators, James Roseman, the music manager turned Cocaina Kingpin, was reportedly questioned about the sexual preference of entertainers, including whether Sean Diddy Combs was having actual relationships with underage boys. According to the U.S. District Court filings, sounds like BS, and that's that they were just fishing for something. Look, Diddy has been on the radar for years, right? But you gotta have proof. Or was he just protected? And I believe it's the latter, that he was protected. So during the debriefing session with federal investigation, James Rodman, the music manager turned cocaine kingpin, was reportedly questioned about the actual preference of entertainers, including Sean Diddy Combs, and was having relationship with underage boys. So in the affidavit included as part of a new trial motion filed last month, Roseman recounted his involvement in a series of non-pretrial proffer sessions in the late 2011. The meetings were attended by Rosman, his lawyers, federal prosecutors, and Drug Enforcement Administration and Internal Revenue Service agents. The purpose of the meeting was to allow federal investigators to question Rosman 48 about his criminal activities and evaluate whether he should be offered a cooperation agreement in advance of his narcotics trafficking trial. Facing overwhelming evidence of his guilt, Rosman's best chance of avoiding life in prison was to strike a deal with Department of Justice lawyers. Don't think this is not going on with the diddler right now. It's a matter of if he's willing to give up the big fish. However, investigators eventually declined to cut a deal with Rosman, who was subsequently convicted at trial of running a drug ring and sold millions of dollars of worth of cocaine. Rosman, who is nicknamed Jimmy Henchman, faces a mandatory term of life in prison when sentenced October 25th in Brooklyn federal court, the same same place the diddler is in right now. In advance of Rosman's first proffer session, defense lawyers provided investigators with the names of 8 of his cocaine suppliers, according to court filings. So during the proffer that followed, Rosman implicated himself in a pair of homicide plots, described his drug distribution network, and copped to other crimes. Rosman was also quizzed during an October 4 session about his contacts with several public figures, including Combs, Reverend Al Sharpton, and musician Wyclef Jean. And here we have it. The Fugees was on the roster today. Okay. At Rosman's trial last year, IRS agent Mark Van Dressage testified that during the proffer session, investigators questioned the music industry figure about his business transaction with Sharpton and Jean and asked whether either celebrity engaged in illegal activity. Rosman denied any improprieties on the part of Sharpton or Jean. So Van Dresch recalled that Rosman was also asked about Combs. We had information through other witnesses that the defendant may have made an admission to Sean Combs. The nature of the purported admission was not the subject of further testimony. So Van Drutch, or Drutch, I'm saying the name all wrong, I'm butchering it, added that Rosman described having business dealings years earlier with Combs and that they had a cordial relationship. Please thumbs up the video. So in his September 6th affidavit, Rosman contended that he reluctantly agreed to the proffer session arranged by Gerald Shergo, his former lawyer. And Rosman added that investigators sought to get him to confess the crimes for which he had no involvement. When the defendant said he didn't know about a certain event, they accused him of lying, Rosman claimed. The controversial session turned awkward, and Rosman stated when an investigator showed him naked pictures of different women, the purpose of this purported investigative technique is not revealed in Rosman's affidavit. So a prosecutor continued Then asked about entertainers' actual preference, including but not only Sean Combs having actual relationships with underage boys. Again, Rosman provided no context for these alleged queries. So during Rosman trial, Shargo complained to the judge, John Gleason, that the federal prosecutor and agents were only seeking trophies when they questioned Rosman about celebrities during the proffer session. And when Rosman provided nothing of substance on the high profile figures, disappointed investigators rejected his client's bid for cooperation deal. Okay? So Diddy has been under investigation. That is the whole point of me um reading this referencing this article. This is not new, and I just believe he's just been protected through the years, and he's gotten so powerful, people were just scared to come forward. So it pisses me off when people, like, for instance, Bobby Lights came forward and said that he didn't believe that there was a 9-year-old victim. Why wouldn't you believe it? Why wouldn't you believe it? And I just thought it was ignorant on his part to even make this comment, especially when you have victims involved. Please thumbs up the video. For those of you who don't know who Bobby Lights is, he is rapper Trina's cousin, and he also starred in Love and Hip Hop Miami. Okay. But after the press conference that Busby gave yesterday, he came out and said that he didn't believe that there was a 9-year-old victim. And I said, you are so ignorant, just like Kendra Wilkinson is very ignorant, because she came out and said something along the lines that, oh, she used to go to Diddy parties, and she never seen anything crazy. Maybe because they didn't want you to see anything. Okay. People like this have a good way of hiding in plain sight in people's faces, and I just think it's very ignorant, and I think it's very disingenuous for people to make comments the way her and Bobby Lights are making comments, because at the end of the day, it's insensitive and there are victims involved. There are. Okay. And who are we to say whether it happened or not? And as soon as I saw that comment, I was just like, oh my God, he's disgusting. Because it could have been him. It could have been him. It could have been him. And some people just want to play ignorant because they don't want to believe that these things happen. But I believe the unbelievable, Naughty Crew. I really, really do. And I'm just so tired of people coming out and trying to discredit these victims and what experience they have went through. And just because you didn't see it, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. And this is what they want. This is how they want to divide people over these issues. Thumbs up the video. And then a lot of these people are just trolling, right? All right, so let's get into, let me see what I have prepared for you guys. Since we're on Diddy, we're just going to complete out the whole Diddy session, okay? All right. I also told you guys that the investigation was expanded. The feds are expanding their investigation to international waters. This thing is bigger than Diddy, and that's what people have to understand. Let me see. It's bigger than Diddy. But what kills me the most is people like this that come out, and part of which is crazy, part of what she's saying is true. But what I disagree with this TikToker is making it a race thing. Okay, here we go.
Mentioned the other day when I was talking about the Diddy situation. Um, y'all already know how I feel. I feel like you bitches knew what the fuck y'all was getting yourselves into. Y'all had a ball. Y'all took pictures. Y'all posted. Y'all told your friends. Y'all felt like y'all was on top of the world. Y'all was going on vacations. And then, for whatever reason, now you bitches want some money. Anyway, whether it be because he cut you off, whether it be because he's not hitting you up no more, whether it be because you feel like a goofy because you didn't get nothing out of it, whatever it be, it's lame as fuck what y'all are doing. But outside of that,
It's
you
lame.
niggas, this is what I gotta say to you niggas. You niggas that are sitting around laughing, making jokes. Number one, Diddy is such a just kind person in general that he would have probably opened his home to you. Some of y'all have probably been at them freak offs, which really are parties, if we're really, they're rich people parties, okay? Stop calling them freak offs. Y'all, and they're rich people parties. If the feds and whatever else want to call them freak offs, that's on them. But at the end of the day, they're rich nigga parties. Rich white men do this shit all the time. Attorneys, doctors, real estate moguls, finance guys, brokers, all type of rich white men do this shit all the time. But because Diddy is black and of high status, of course, he's not allowed to do the same thing that rich white men do. He's not allowed to indulge in the same um, behavior, parties, lifestyle, etc. that rich white men do. It's fucking twisted. It's really fucking twisted, and it's sad. It's sad to watch someone who's a mogul for the black community in the black community who speaks very highly of the black community and tries to instill growth and excellence and black excellence and preaches love, and he's getting shitted on. They're rich people shitted on by not only the feds and the people filing lawsuits, but his people, his community. And it's like y'all are making a mockery of it. And I see it. I see y'all's posts. And some of y'all are black men of high status or um in the same, not maybe in the same financial position, but a high economic advantage or high financial status. It could be y'all tomorrow. And
It
y'all are laughing and making a mockery as if he.
no, it could be you. It could be you. You could have been a victim. You out here speaking loud and proud. Okay, and I agree. There is an agenda. It's time for him to pay the piper at the end of the day. But my thing is, don't take down Diddy unless you're going to take down the people that are above him, the Lucian Grange, okay? The big wigs that run all of the music industry. Notice everyone's stepping down. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it because let me tell you, the diddler played chess, not checkers. And let me tell you, it's a reason why that plane, remember? He sent his plane empty to the islands. He still got people on the ground working, okay? Hey, y'all. I see y'all loading in. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that there are Diddy empathizers out here considering the damage he has done through the years to people, children allegedly now, okay? Everything that we talk about here is fair use commentary. I'm just letting y'all know what the fuck it really is, okay? And it's about to go down. And if Diddy is not willing to give up them big wigs, he gonna rot in prison. Or they gonna come for his life. Or they gonna come for his life. Yeah, his Bobby Light. Bobby Light, shout out to Hollywood and Lot. Says he doesn't believe Diddy actually assaulted a 9-year-old boy. I know he ain't perfect, but that's just so far fetched. Why is it? Why is it? So he took to Twitter. He said, I'm sorry if you believe that Diddy, at the height of his career, would make a 9-year-old boy give him head. It's just insane to me. I know he ain't perfect and has done some ish, but that's just so far fetched. No, it's not. No, it's not. This man has no boundaries. This man has no boundaries. I don't put it past I don't put anything past anyone, okay? And I take it back to this attorney.
Then you're looking at life, because the sex trafficking charges for minors are very different. You do not have to prove force, fraud, or coercion with a minor. A minor is a victim. The defense is going to say it's not force, fraud, coercion. The women did it at their own permission, at their own will. He told them, I'll give you a record deal. You're going to be my girlfriend. He defrauded them. He coerced them with record deals. He put them in the studio. He made them believe they were going to be stars. He is toast. He's fried because it's actually a sex trafficking case. And I believe, especially being denied bail, remember, he pays off his mortgage, $18 million a week before he turns himself in. He was so confident. His lawyers are so cavalier. If that charge comes, then you're looking at life.
Okay? He looking at life. And the charge is coming. The charge is coming. The charge is coming. And I say, before all these Diddy empathizers speak out, think about the victims and what they went through and what they endured. I gave you a personal encounter from a trafficking victim, and she told you detail for detail what goes on at those parties. And she's been speaking out a lot more. She's been speaking out a lot more. All right. Wendy Williams also has spoken out. Go, Wendy. Hey, Wendy. And shout out to Morning Juice Box for that last clip. And this one's the girls posted. Wendy shares her thoughts on Diddy's years after she was criticized for speaking out against him. Criticized, she was fired. She had to leave the state. She had to go to Philadelphia to get a job because he blackballed her that much. She couldn't get a job in the city. And so she quoted, you know how I feel about that. It is about time, she said, to see this video on TV of Cassie getting pummeled. It was just horrific. But now you have to think, how many more times? How many people? How many more women? It's just so horrible. Exactly. Let me say what's up. Hey, B More. Hey, Kim. Hey, grown woman. Hey, Chantel. Hey, excuse me, Tarshella. Jarrell, thank y'all so much for joining me. Okay, he is being accused of some horrific crimes, and I really feel like people like they need to shut their mouth if they don't have anything good to say, all out of empathy just for the victims alone. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It's crazy. All right, so now it's allegedly 100 new victims. We have that going on. We have the attack on Iran going on. Hey, cousin. We have the attack on Iran going on right now. And for look, and the United States is sending money to Palestine. Like, how are you sending money to Palestine? We need help here. Do you see what's going on with the strike at the ports? It's serious things going on. And look, Puffy may be the fall guy for the big wigs, but when are they going to get to the head of all of this? When are they going to start taking out the Lucian Grange, the people that fund these X parties? It's a lot. It's a lot. All right. And Walk with the Ancestors. She had a great live last night. I love you for my whole life. Ooh, sorry. Um, and the truth is, he did a post. Let's hear what he have to say. Look, everything we talk about here falls under fair use commentary, and it's allegedly, but the truth is, has been revealing a lot. But he gave a very, very good perspective about this whole thing. Here we go. Yeah, a lot is going on. It's a lot crazy. And I have some highlights
We
from
are
the.
witnessing the fall of Babylon right in front of our faces. 2024 has been the worst year for Hollywood and its stars. Controversy after controversy has made it clear to the world that the industry isn't what it seems. It's not just the music industry and Diddy getting exposed. It's everything from TV networks like Nickelodeon to Vince McMahon from the WWE. It's all coming crumbling down. If you pay close enough attention, you can see Hollywood scrambling to cover up this catastrophic mess. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos.
All right, have a good day,
In
Kim.
today's episode, we will be talking about Hollywood trying to cover up its links to Diddy. Let's get right into it. What a year it's been for the entertainment industry. Hollywood has been flipped on its head, and everything is coming out. What fans praised and worshipped wasn't at all what they thought it was. In 1 year, that became more obvious than ever. The nail on the coffin for Hollywood was the fall of P. Diddy. As by Diddy getting exposed, a lot of the industry was exposed too, as obviously, Diddy wasn't partying alone. Many of his guests were executives, A-list stars, politicians, and even athletes. Just about everyone who's anyone in Hollywood has been to a Diddy party. They all know what that man was up to the entire time, and no one said anything about it. Instead, they enjoyed his parties and engaged in covering up the disturbing events that took place at them. Hollywood knows as a whole they are guilty, not just Diddy, but now they're trying to pin it all on him like he was the only problem in Hollywood. They are publicly sacrificing Diddy, forcing him to take the blame for crimes the entire industry is guilty of. Do you really think Diddy started those freak off parties? No. This was a part of Hollywood since the beginning. The executives have been having freak offs with these artists for years. These freak off parties are a part of Hollywood. The fans are just too naive to notice. They worship these celebrities like they're their god, and when they are exposed as monsters, the fans reject the truth. Diddy is Hollywood. If you think Diddy needs to go down, then the whole industry needs to go down with him. You think
Period.
Clive Davis or any of these other executives never had a freak off party? Who do you think taught Diddy all he knows? This evil goes back generations since the start of this corrupt industry. Diddy isn't even the biggest monster in Hollywood, not even close. He's the one they're forcing to take the fall. Hollywood is trying to cover up their evil and blame it all on one man. Then when Diddy goes down, they can act like the industry is now saved. That's nonsense. All these people in Hollywood need the same treatment. Now, everyone who was at those Diddy parties is awfully quiet and are doing their best to cover up their involvement. One example of this was the recent music video takedown that has been happening on YouTube. All of a sudden, many music videos of some of the biggest artists in the industry were taken down without notice. When I looked into it, it stated it was because of a licensing agreement that fell through between YouTube and the music video rights holders. While that does happen, what changes everything to me is what videos were taken down. Specifically, one video in general that, with what's going on today, could be seen through a different lens. One of the videos that just so happened to be taken down was Kanye's famous music video. A video that, when it came out, was controversial, but not for the reasons it is today. This Kanye video starts by showing us a peek of Hollywood's disturbing freak-off parties. As the music video starts with Kanye laying in bed clothless with a lineup of other celebrities in bed with him. The list of celebrities were George Bush, Donald Trump, Anna Wintour, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Taylor Swift, Kim Kardashian, Ray J, Amber Rose, Caitlyn Jenner, and even Bill Cosby. Here we have Hollywood telling on itself. Kanye know exactly why this music video started like that. It's no coincidence that Kanye often hanged out with Diddy on many occasions. Him and his
Okay.
former wife Kim Kardashian.
Thumbs up the video. They all gave for the Boulay Naughty crew. Thumbs up the video. Kanye is not innocent. I don't care what nobody say. None of them are innocent. I'm looking at all of them with the side eye because they knew exactly what was going on. And if they witnessed any crimes taking place, they are conspirators. They deserve to be charged, just like Diddy. They need to be standing in the courtroom right next to him, and it is our duty as the public. We need to make noise about this because they're just gonna cover it up, smother it, and make it go away and put him away in jail, and this vicious cycle will continue to happen.
Attended those parties and after parties. Here's a video of the Kardashians talking about the Diddy parties. You're known for the parties. You make the party or a good time. Yeah. You do. But
The Kardashians, okay, they was always there.
we've been known to party with you a few times. What are like, I don't know, some of you were just at Puff's birthday. Yes. Yes. I forgot about that. You forgot about that? No, that was an epic night too. Every night. Why was it so epic? That night was fun because all the girls ditched me, so I was like me and the boys. Like, it was me. There was a group of boys to be around. Kanye, Corey, T,
And we were all just like hanging out, and it was, you loved it. It was fun. Yeah, I loved it. I don't know how you have all the energy, but that's who you are, and I think that's what why people are so drawn to you because you're.
As you heard for yourself, she admits she partied with Diddy and the boys. What do you think she was talking about? Since Diddy has gone down, Kim hasn't said a word, even though she definitely knew about his behavior. Now back to the famous music video. You think it's a coincidence that Kanye and all of these stars are laying on this massive bed clothless? While these aren't the real celebrities and just clay figures, it doesn't change the fact that it's what's really going on in Hollywood.
And what did he do? He replicated the picture. Remember, Dame Dash, Aaliyah, um, was it Andre Harrell? They were all in that because Diddy has this massive bed in his yard. Everybody talks about it, right? You think it's a coincidence that Kanye replicated that? Child,
It
they've
had
been
to be
playing in our
massive to
faces for
fit all
years.
those stars at once. It kind of reminds me of Diddy's massive bed he has in his backyard. What do you think that massive bed that he has is being used for? That bed is for the freak off. Kanye is showing us in the beginning of his famous music video that they were all down with this freak off party. Now, let's go over the lyrics for the song, as Kanye literally raps about Taylor Swift owing him sex because he made her famous, implying that those who they make famous in Hollywood have to sleep with them first. Kanye is literally telling us what these celebrities have to do to make it. They have to compromise and sleep their way to the top. I don't think this video being taken down has anything to do with copyright. That's just what they said to not raise suspicion. It's obvious this video exposed too much, and they knew it was best to take it down during these times. Kanye is just as guilty as Diddy. In fact, one former artist literally came out and exposed Diddy and Kanye for trying to force themselves onto her at the same time in the studio. I covered that situation in this video. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it after this one. Another big celebrity who was at the parties was LeBron James. Ever since Diddy got exposed, LeBron has been awfully quiet, not saying a thing about Diddy or his charges, which is quite interesting. What's interesting about that is that LeBron should have lots to say considering he's been to plenty of Diddy parties and knows exactly what goes down at them. In this video, we see LeBron at one of Diddy's parties. He knows that there's no party like a Diddy party. This is something he admitted himself while talking to Diddy live.
It's something that needs to be acknowledged. And what you're doing right now and giving everybody a life, man, this is the unbelievable thing, man. Like, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party. Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party. Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party.
And just know they all down until they not. Okay.
So,
Yeah, that's what's up.
you
Yeah.
that's
Hey, yo, check this out. The family's there. My family's here. If anybody in the family got a record request, want to hit a two-step, the Combs family and the Gaines family dancing together.
Hey, listen, your genre, what you done did, your plethora of music, any bad boy record that you ever did, we gonna vibe to. You know?
Okay, so we about to just turn around and vibe. And Bron, when this is done, we gonna drink a couple of bottles of the most premium wine. You know what I'm saying? Together and talk the most.
Please.
You know, we got some. You understand? All right, but check this out.
They down until they not. Even Kevin Hart. He was recently spotted out and asked about the baby oil, and he immediately distanced himself. Okay, so go over to The Truth Is. He has some great content over there. But here recently, Diddy has been playing in our faces for a long time, and I read an article about Sanaa Lathan, and she admitted that she had struggles with alcohol and things like that, and that she had to get herself together. It was alleged, like Tiffany Haddish alluded to her biting Beyonce. Y'all remember that whole thing? Okay, but the first thing I thought, because Sanaa comes from a family of actors and things like that, she has a very good upbringing. What would drive this woman to drink, right? And here recently, some clips dropped of Diddy in French Montana grooming Sanaa Lathan. And this is all alleged. But look, I'm going to play the clip for y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all draw your own conclusions of what happened at the end of this night.
No. Okay, I look crazy though. Yeah.
Y'all let me know. Thumbs up this video. Y'all let me know what happened at the end of that night. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. Mm, mm, mm. Yes, be more shorty. Let's get these likes up. Yes, share the video and subscribe. Thank y'all so much. It's crazy with all the ports in the U.S. My godfather said it's going to get crazier day by day. Exactly, it will. The local 333 is bad, especially for our African American brothers. Yes, yes, it's getting bad. It's getting bad. In meantime, the U.S. delivered over $300 million to aid the Palestinians in the Gaza in the West Bank. What is so ass backwards about that? Please let me know. Right, cousin. My cousin say he F both of them. Exactly. All right. So, to all the Diddy empathizers out there, where there's smoke, there's fire, and please think about the victims before you make commentary. All right. I'm interested to see though how are they going to proceed with this trial. All right. Because it looks like the feds have expanded their investigation to international waters. Okay. And the reason why they like to use the yachts for a lot of this trafficking or all these trafficking crimes is because on the water there's no laws, right? But that doesn't mean that there's not victims. All right. So it looks like I've been telling y'all, they have expanded the investigation for Diddy over to the UK. So not only are there going to be child trafficking charges added, I believe they are working on getting red rum charges. And I'm putting it lightly, what they allege he did to Tupac and Biggie. Okay. Here we go. Shout out to his on site.
On these federal charges. As the rapper and media mogul sits in the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center on these federal charges, it is being reported that federal prosecutors from the Southern District of New York, where this case is being prosecuted, are now traveling across the pond to London, that they are looking for more possible victims over there. The U.S. Sun reporting that a team of detectives have arrived in London, that they came last week, that this is based on allegations that Combs may have abused women in the UK. And after all, when you think about it, Combs has been in London regularly for years. If we attach it to the time frame that was laid out by prosecutors in their indictment, because they allege that he was abusing women since 2009, well, Combs, for example, back in 2010, was promoting his film Get Him to the Greek. In June of 2010, he launched Sean John in London. And at the time, he said, I've always enjoyed traveling throughout Europe and spend much of my vacation time here, and London truly feels like a second home to me. Now, a few things to note here about this report. One, how can this tie back to the current charges? Well, in the charges that he currently faces, there is an element of transporting people either across state lines or international lines for the purposes of forced or coerced commercial prostitution. And for the racketeering charge, prosecutors explain how this criminal enterprise that he allegedly was the leader of engaged in activities that affected foreign commerce. So, in other words, if this abuse occurred abroad, if this is another pattern of abuse that maybe emanated in the United States and then went abroad and came back, or if there are witnesses to this abuse abroad, maybe American citizens were being abused abroad, and then you have witnesses in the UK, or maybe Combs was transporting people from London back to the United States for criminal purposes, you could see how prosecutors would be interested in such evidence as a form of sex trafficking or transportation of people for the purposes of prostitution or a racketeering conspiracy. In fact, a source told the Mirror, quote, given the huge amount of time he spent in London, there are concerns that the alleged offending was not confined to America's shores, Prosecutors are imploring anyone in the UK who may have information they feel could help the investigation to get in touch. And this, by the way, is consistent with what a lot of us in the legal community have been saying, that we should expect the possibility of a superseding indictment in Combs' case. This is when you have additional information, you go back to the grand jury to get a new amended indictment.
There you have it. So it's going to go far and wide, okay? And then Walk with the Ancestors. What she had to say last night will blow your mind, and I'll close the show with that. I just want to get to some other stories. Number one, New Jersey native John Amos, rest in power to you, brother. This story makes me so sad. He's from Newark, New Jersey. He not only is famous for playing the father on Good Times, he also played the father in one of my favorite movies, Coming to America. Okay, he had some of the best one-liners. And last we heard of John Amos, his children were basically fighting over him. His daughter and his son, and it broke my heart to know that he passed in August, and we're just learning about it. But
AC3 and
AJ from 106 in Park, y'all remember him? He did an honorary post to celebrate his life. Here we go. Cause he was a good dude.
down on Mike. Oh, no. This is AC3 and AJ. Look, tell them, say down on Mike. Oh, no. This is AC3.
All right. So they had a very, very close relationship. He posted a bunch of pictures. Ooh, sorry, my hands are like sore this morning. Him and John Amos. All right. They were really, really close or whatever. But his children were like basically fighting over him. And this is just so sad. This is just so sad. But his daughter also posted, and I suspect there's gonna be like more fights over like his estate and things like that. Where is it? Mm. I must have didn't put it in there. Please thumbs up the video. Yes, gratitude to Miss Quatita. She gave us a lot of knowledge. She gave us if you guys are not following Walk with the Ancestors, you should. Cause she been predicted a lot of this a long time ago. People don't like to give her credit, but she's been saying it. I gave her credit. I don't have a problem with giving her credit. And I think there's like anyway, parallels with her and Sloan Bella are saying, but Walk with the Ancestors, Miss Dean, she did say it first. So John Amos, he was 84 years old. We know the famous scenes from Good Times. I can't play it because they'll copyright strike me. It's so corny. So I know I had a clip from his daughter. She came out and said that she didn't know that he had passed away. And I'm like, what? Raven Simone lost her father. Danny Lay lost her father. Like, it's so much death. It's crazy. Oh, she took it down. Oh, here it is.
And nothing.
The official Shannon Amos. This is what she posted of her father. The last time he was with her, is music playing in the background. She said, "I'm without words. Our family has received the heartbreaking news that my dad, John Allen Amos Jr., transitioned on August 21st. We are devastated and left with many questions about how this happened 45 days ago, learning about it through the media like so many of you. This should be a time of honoring and celebrating his life, yet we are struggling to navigate the wave of emotions and uncertainties surrounding his passing. Still, there is some semblance of peace in knowing my father is finally free. My family and I are deeply my family and I deeply appreciate the outpouring of love, calls, and texts. Please continue to hold our family in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you. This is so sad. Yes. Oh, yeah. The son was like on drugs. The daughter was accusing the son of stealing from the father. Yeah, the founder of Famous Amos Cookies passed away. Yes. So, like, look, I hope they get to the bottom of it. This is just strange to me. This is just strange. All of it. Mm, 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 mm. So, on the tail end of that information, last night, Iran launches massive missile attack on Israel. It's crazy.
Interceptors and skies above us are lighting up. We are seeing Israeli Iron Dome interceptors, and they appear to be shooting down some of these missiles as they streak over the skies of northern Israel in many, many directions at once, Lester. We are seeing the streaking lights of what we do believe to be these Iranian ballistic missiles potentially fired just 10 minutes ago from Iran, crossing a distance of thousands of miles and now illuminating the skies of northern Israel. And we are seeing the smaller streaks of light as these Iron Dome interceptors are going through. Lester, I can say we are seeing some of these missiles, they are either falling apart, a sign that they have been intercepted, or they are making their way down towards the.
And when I saw that, the first thing I thought, like, this could happen to us. Because America is weak right now. I don't know. People don't realize how vulnerable we are, especially with our ports going on strike and things like that. Like, prepare. People need to keep their eyes open to what's going on here. And especially in the world of music, like, hip hop is over. I don't know if people realize that. You keep hearing one negative story after another. They're hemming up all the artists in court cases and trying to RICO them. Yo Gotti's next. He about to be sitting in that chair where Young Thug is, okay? Because he was named on them stand by them witnesses for paying for their legal fees, okay? Rich Homie Quan, another tragic death, right? It just came out. Shout out to the neighborhood talks. Rich Homie Quan caused the death revealed to be an overdose from a mix of fentanyl and several other toxic drugs. Okay. And this comes on the tail end of when Little Woody just mentioned Rich Homie Quan on the stand in the YSL Young Thug trial. I don't know, Naughty Crew. Don't nobody find that like
That's suspicious. That's weird.
you think it's by accident that he overdosed? Y'all better pay attention. I'm not that naive. All right, so Rich Homie Quan's cause of death has been announced, and it's sadly an overdose. How do most celebrities go out, especially when it comes to their royalties and their rights to their music and owning their masters? That's when their life is in danger the most. So, according to the Fulton County Medical Examiner report obtained by TMZ, his death was ruled an accident after the deadly ingestion of fentanyl, aprazolam, codeine, and promethazine, which is like that lean. While the medical examiner report showed that there was no trauma, the toxicology report that there was THC present in the mix, but it didn't play a part in his death. As we previously reported, Rich Homie Khan was found dead by his girlfriend last month, and she arrived home to him not breathing on the couch. Child, don't be surprised if somebody delivered that cocktail, okay? The things that make you go, right, grown woman? Coincidence. It really isn't. And in the rap game, it's over. It's over, especially once they got the diddler. It's not on purpose. All right. And here's what they're saying about the Iranian attacks. Here we go. For those of you who don't know, like the background.
Uh, One hell of a day so far. At 7:30 p.m., the Iranians did attack in a significant salvo, and myself, my family, and just like millions of other Israelis, were immediately ordered to go to bomb shelters, and we followed closely as we heard very loud explosions close to our house. In After the fact, we understand that those were interceptions. There were no rockets that impacted or no missiles that struck near we lived. The Iranian attack, I think, fell very, very short of what they planned to do. And this is an opportunity for me as an Israeli, as a civilian, to say thank you to U.S. Troops deployed in the Middle East who have been coordinating, working together, and helping Israel defend itself. And I wish to express my gratitude for that.
Who gonna help America defend themselves? We don't got no bomb shelters. What if they attack us? Where we gonna go? That's what I thought. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's what I thought. Cause there ain't nobody ever here to help us. But yet we giving Palestine Palestinians $300 million. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And we broke. We broke. We got a debt and everything. All right. I'm done with my rant. Okay. At the end of the day, we need to prepare, stock up, be prepared for whatever. And look, protect your neck, Naughty Crew. That's the best thing I could say. Protect your neck. Because we are not protected here. As you can see. As you can see. All right. Oh, on the tail end of that, Kim Porter's fake tell-all was removed from Amazon after outrage from her children, and I'll be sure. All right, but he already done made millions of dollars off of it. He going around to different platforms and driving his narrative. The author of the book or whatever, it's pulled down. But he already done made the money. It's no point. So if you wanted to return the book, you can't now at this point because it's been pulled down, I believe. All roads lead back to the diddler. That's all I gotta say. All roads lead back to the diddler. All right, let's get into the Fuji's drama. Uh, so Lauren Hill is being sued by her fellow bandmate Praz Michael for fraud and breach of contract. Praz claims Lauren is narcissistic and the sole reason their 2023 tour was canceled. And Praz got his own. He was found guilty of his own charges. He got the nerve to be filing these charges. So So it looks like there's some beef between the Fuji members Lauren Hill and Pras Michael. According to Variety, Pras is suing Lauren for fraud and breach of contract. Pras claims Lauren caused the group to lose millions of dollars due to her narcissistic, egotistical ways. In the lawsuit obtained exclusively with Variety, Price details how Lauren shenanigans caused them to lose out on money on their botched 2023 world tour. The tour was supposed to start in November of 2023, but Lauren had to abruptly cancel due to an injury she sustained. Price claims Lauren mishandled the funds for the tour on purpose, and it was actually a veiled and devious attempt to make big score for herself. Price says it could have been a huge commercial success since most of the shows for the entire arena size because Lauren controlled the tour budget. That was so bloated with unnecessary and most likely fictitious expenses that it seemed designed to lose money. Price says because the tour fell through, he stuck with $1 million legal bills from an outside case where he got charged being guilty. He, of course, blames this on Lauren Hill and was taking 40% of the tour guarantees and tour net profits off the top for herself, leaving the remaining 60% to be split equally between Hill, Prize, and Wyclef, the suit states. Prize also claims that Lauren's ego stopped her from accepting $5 million deal to perform at Coachella. Lauren was reportedly upset that the group, no doubt, was billed above them. So she turned down the deal as a whole. Price claims he didn't find out about the botched deal until Lauren asked him to perform for free during her son's set. Price also mentioned Lauren's lateness has affected the group's reputation as a whole. The full list of claims include fraud in the inducement, breach of fiduciary duty, breach of contract, accounting, and refusal to permit an audit of the Fuji's tour. What are your thoughts? Chow and Lauren Hill has responded, but he is trying to get this tour out so that he could pay for his previous legal bills. But I believe it. She is a diva MBMB. She is absolutely an egotistical narcissist. And it's always been, they always talk about how she's always late to the shows. Well, shout out to the neighborhood talks. They have, oh, grown woman said, I already returned mine. Me too, girl. Me too. But they already made the money. All right, so she responded. So Lauren Hill speaks out after being sued by Fuji's bandmate Prize. Okay, she said some clarity and facts need to be presented. I've been and look, this her response and how long it is shows how egotistical and narcissistic she is. Okay, she said I've been silent, pushing through because I understood that Prize was under duress because of his legal battles and that this was perhaps affecting his judgment, state of mind, and character. And so she took the tripper. She said she probably had more to say. Ciao. Fact number one. Y'all ready for this? Okay, because she broke it down into facts. Fact number one. This baseless lawsuits by Pras is full of false claims and unwarranted attacks. It's notably it notably admits that he was advanced overpayment for the last tour and has failed to repay substantial loans extended by myself as an act of goodwill. Last year's tour was put together to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the album The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. It was being planned whether the Fugees were involved or not. Okay? I mean, it was her tour, okay? Fact number two, the tour was expanded to incorporate the Fugees because I found out that Prize was in trouble and would need money to aid his legal defense. Fact number three, Prize was given a $3 million advance for the tour, which he said he required to pay his legal fees. Wyclef and myself deferred our full advances to make sure he had what he needed and was able to go. I covered most of the tour expenses as the majority of the tour advance had gone to prize. An agreement was put in place to secure the repayment of the money he was advanced. Price has not paid back the money he was advanced and is currently in breach of this agreement. Child. Fact number four, because my tour, band production, and setup were already happening, the Fuji set utilized this same production. I absorbed most of the expenses myself, produced the show, put together the entire set with Wyclef participation for the Fugees and Wyclef set. Proz basically just had to show up and perform. Fact number five, as of last tour, Proz thanked me for saving his life. Thumbs up this video. Child, the facts keep getting smaller. Okay. Fact number six, I'm not in the business of kicking anyone, especially when they're down, which is why I haven't responded to date. It is absolutely disheartening to see Prize in this position, my bandmate and someone I considered a friend, but this leads to us to fact number seven, which probably should have been fact number one. I was not in Pride's life when he decided to make the unfortunate decision that led to his current legal troubles. I did not advise that he make that decision and therefore am in no way responsible for his decision and its consequences, though I have taken it upon myself to help. Despite his attack, I am still compassionate and hope things work out for him. Respectfully, Miss Lauren Hill. Child, he got some nerve. After they advanced him $3 million to help him out, he got some nerve suing her. Diva or not, he got some nerve. Woo! Child, probably. In the climate of things, I wouldn't be surprised. Be more shorty. It was like $22, the Kim Porter book. So there you have it. I think Lauren Hill kind of summed it up in a nutshell. It sounds he's coming off as ungrateful, and like I said, the first thing I went to when I saw that he was suing her, the first thing I went to wasn't he just found guilty of some mess? And she sure was. Okay, he in some big trouble. He in some big trouble. Hmm. Let's get into Eve next. And a little update. I reported on Nene Leaks. There was a judgment to garnish her bank account for past rent of her swag store. Well, the judge approved for her bank accounts to be garnished. So Nene, whether it was in Greg's name or your name, it's coming out of your account, darling. Okay, it's coming out of your account. All right, Eve. All right, so Eve, as you all know, she has her book. I want to get it. Who's that girl? I should have bought that over this Kim Porter mess, right? Um, um, she recently sold her catalog. And she got a nice penny for that. But she shout out to the Jasmine brand is speaking out on the years it took to overcome baggage from previous relationships to fully trust her husband, Maximilian Cooper. Okay. Now, Eve was with Stevie J, and I can only imagine what she went through. Yeah, I want to check it out. I'm gonna get it probably this weekend. I can only imagine what she went through, but she is on record saying, because Stevie J was connected to Diddy or whatever. And we seen how he treats women from Jocelyn to Mimi, right? He's horrible to women. Eve is on record saying like she was not protected until she got to Rough Riders, which I loved the whole Rough Riders era. DMX, the Locks, every they just made great music. I could still rock to that album to this day. the Rough Riders anthems, Drag On, loved all of them, right? So shout out to the Jasmine brand. Eve is speaking out on how it took her to overcome her traumas.
First few years of our relationship, definitely baggage was there. We were long distance for a year. There'd be times where I'd freak out. Like he'd be in London, I'm in LA. The time difference is nuts. And if he didn't answer the phone, I'd immediately be like, "Oh, what's going on?" And he'd be like, "I am not that person. I'm not gonna lie." It took me a few years before I could really be like, "Oh no, I believe him. And yes, this is such a different situation. Yeah. Thank God." But it took a first few years, wondering how falling in love with Max, someone who felt so safe, changed you. He's very good at being like 2 feet on the ground, and I live in the clouds. Like I'm very much like, and he's very good at being like, come back down here. So that has helped a lot. What's nice is knowing that I can be truly, fully who I am and not feel crazy for it. Because in past relationships, when I would be emotional, I'd be like, it'd be like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong?" And it's like, "Oh wait, is something wrong with me?" So that is a great place to be. We're very honest with who we are with each other, and that I never had that before. I always call it it's my grown up relationship. I never had a grown up relationship before. Who knew it could be actually kind of easy and not like anxiety? Wondering how falling in love
Okay.
with Max.
So, like, because of what Stevie J took her through, I'm sure he cheated on her with men, women, all type of things, allegedly. And you're right. Where has Stevie J been? He running. He on the run, girl, because he knew the feds can come knocking at any moment. Stevie, you not going to bail out your boyfriend? Stevie, you not windmilling for Diddy, the diddler no more? Mm. Mm. Not about solo travel. They all came together. Yes, they all Rough Riders always come together for DMX. And every year they get together on the anniversary of his passing. So I love that about them. That just shows how family oriented and how ride or die they are for each other. I always like they click. I always like they click. Shout out to Eve for really finding love. But I can understand, like, when you come out of traumatic relationship, it could take you some time to build up trust for people. And not everybody is part of the creep squad. So I get it. I get it. I'm loving Eve's glow up. I don't know about y'all. I always loved Eve. I always loved her sitcom, Eve. And everything she partaked in, I just always loved it. I just always felt like she was authentic and genuine. Like I remember she met like a super fan on the Tyra Banks show, and she said, she was like, because the girl had wrote a rap, and one thing he said, she was like, "Oh my god," she was like, "Do you freestyle?" She's like, "I can't freestyle like that." Yes, Pitbull in the skirt. What y'all niggas can't touch. All y'all niggas need is right here with me. Tell y'all wanna get who that? Who that? Switch speaks. Need boots, pocketbook, baby, in a baby 380. Yes. I used to love Eve. I used to love Eve. Shout out to her for finding love, and shout out to her. She opened up about like the trouble she was having with fertility before she got pregnant with her son and things like that. And they do a really really good job of protecting him. But congratulations to her. That's I be saying all the time. Like be open to dating overseas, child. You might get treated better. Now a lot of these men in the United States of America are tainted. They all have the same personality as the Diddler and Stevie J's. Okay. Ooh, so congratulations to Tim's. Love Tim's. She has now sold over 1 million career album units in the United States. Shout out to her because I rock. Look, whenever I have a long day, I love to sit and listen to Tim's. Like it's something very soothing about her music. Love her. Love her. And she representing for the chocolate girls, okay? She representing for the chocolate girls. Let me see. Do I got anything else up here? Oh, the debate. You know, I have to say, I wasn't really here for the debate. I really wasn't. I was like Bill O'Reilly. Let's hear what Bill O'Reilly got to say about the debate.
Spin News watch tonight. What was your takeaway, big man? I fell asleep twice, but I'm an old guy. I thought they were okay. Um, I thought the debate was much better, as you pointed out, than the presidential debate, but they still dodge. I mean, right off the jump, a simple question: would you support Israel attacking Iran? And Walls just dodged it totally, 100% dodged it. Okay, and I'm going, what's wrong with the moderators when they don't say, are you going to answer the question or if not? Can you explain why you won't answer it? See, this is how it all falls down.
Okay, I kind of agree with him. Here's some clips. I got some clips for y'all. Okay.
In 2016, you called your running mate Donald Trump unfit for the nation's highest office, and you said he could be America's Hitler. I know you've been asked many times, and you've said you regret those comments and explained you then voted for Donald Trump in 2020. But the Washington Post reported new messages last week in which you also disparaged Trump's economic record while he was president, writing to someone in 2020, quote, Trump thoroughly failed to deliver his economic populism. You're now his running mate, and you've shifted many of your policy stances to align with his. If you become vice president, why should Americans trust that you will give Donald Trump the advice he needs to hear and not just the advice he wants to hear? You have 2 minutes. Well, first of all, Margaret, because I've always been open. And sometimes, of course, I've disagreed with the president, but I've also been extremely open about the fact that I was wrong about Donald Trump. I was wrong, first of all, because I believe Senator Vance in some of the media stories that turned out to be dishonest fabrications of his record. But most importantly, Donald Trump delivered for the American people. Rising wages, rising take home pay, an economy that works for normal Americans, a secure southern border, a lot of things, frankly, that I didn't think he'd be able to deliver on. And yeah, when you screw up, when you misspeak, when you get something wrong and you change your mind, you ought to be honest with the American people about it. It's one of the reasons, Margaret, why I've done so many interviews is because I think it's important to actually explain to the American people where I come down on the issues and what changed. Now, you pointed out the messages from 2020. Margaret, I've been extremely consistent, but I think there were a lot of things that we could have done better in the Trump administration, the first round, if Congress was doing its job. Some of the media stories that
All right, that's
some of
him. That's him. Here we go.
diverse, and California has a different view. Your rights, as basic as the right to control your own body, is determined on geography. There's a very real chance had Amber Thurman lived in Minnesota, she would be alive today. Senator. May I respond to that? First of all, violate their freedom of conscience. We can be a big and diverse country where we respect people's freedom of conscience and make the country more pro baby and pro family. But please. Yes, Governor, please respond. Look, this is one where there's always something that this.
Everybody
Thank you,
live.
Governor. And just to clarify for our viewers, Springfield, Ohio does have a large number of Haitian migrants who have legal status, temporary protected status. Well, Maura? Thank you, Senator. We have so much to get to. Margaret, I think it's important because turn out of the economy. Thank Margaret, you. The rules were that.
All right, I just can't even. It is what it is. Guys, I ran out of time. I have an appointment to get to. I got to be there by 11. Go check out A Walk with the Ancestors. It is a lot of key information in her live last night that I think you all need to hear. It's information about Diddy and it's information about our politics and what's to come. And she ain't no joke. She's the real deal. All right. So I appreciate every last one of you joining me. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I'll keep my eyes and my ears to the street on this Diddy business because I'm interested to see. Because Busby said over the next 30 days, they'll be filing suits and we'll be getting more names. I want to see if they reveal all these names or if they're going to quiet it and sweep it under the rug. I hope you all have a beautiful, 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 blessed day. Until next time, Nighty Crew, I'm out. One.